Let's get nuts. Welcome to Film Junkee Not So Live. That's right, guys. What is happening? That not gonna work? Oh, well, hit the wrong button, of course. There it is. There's the music. How's everybody doing today? All right. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Something new I'm trying, of course, when it comes to Wednesday shows. And, you know, obviously after what happened on Monday's show, if you guys were watching that, the live stream got cut off by YouTube. It's still good on Twitter. No rhyme or reason. It's just cut off. I don't know if it has to do, I might have to update some stuff on my OBS. Maybe I'll have to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just cursed. Could be that too. But hit that like, thumbs up. Obviously, this is premiering live. And the live chat is happening, and not sure exactly if it's premiering. It's probably not premiering right at 6, but it's probably going to be a little bit after. But hey, the live chat is still active. You guys can talk. I'm going to be in the live chat, so it's kind of like a weird, like wow, this is like a meta, weird kind of inception. I don't know what would you actually call it, but yeah, I'm like literally in the chat as you guys are watching me. It's going to be like any other live Film Junkee live, but yeah, it's just something I'm trying because. Why not? You know, sometimes going live 4 times a week, technically 5, because I am going to still do a members-only stream after this. So you members, you can still have like a little private live, you know? We can get a little romantic still. So I'm still going to have that, and then of course DC Animated is going to be happening tonight. So hopefully you guys are doing good. But yeah, that's just kind of like the plan right now. Something new I'm trying, and yeah, we'll see. Like I said, Monday, full-on live. Wednesday, not so live. Still have DC Animated that's live, and then of course still have the Vodka stream. Just something I was like kind of trying and toying with as of right now, guys. So hopefully you guys have had a good couple of days. I can't complain. Nothing really exciting or crazy happened. I saw, you know, my cousin was in town, was at my mom's. Went over there, and my little cousin, her daughter, who's adorable as all hell, saw them, and we had some dinner and had a little bit of a, you know, good time. Watched the All-Star game a little bit. Didn't really, you know, I don't know. It's All-Star week, you know. You guys know I'm a big baseball fan, but I was just kind of like, Didn't watch the home run derby. I don't even know who won it. And I watched, you know, a good chunk of the game, but I don't even know who won that fully. I think the National League came out victorious, which, you know, go National League. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too wrapped up because, you know, work. I've been consumed with work and this and everything. So, but anyways, guys. Oh, yeah. Still have the residuals from that virus I had last week. So, but I got my wine. That's right. Got some Pinot Gris going on right now. So, cheers. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully, you guys are doing good. Like I said, talk in the chat. I'll be in the chat. Talk to me. I'll be there. Future me, relax. Don't get too crazy, all right? Let's start off, you know, by getting to the tweets. And Fantastic fucking Four. They keep editing the shit out of this movie. They do. They keep editing the shit out of this movie. And I'm like going, okay. You know, we first heard that it was like a 2-hour and 10-minute runtime, maybe even a little bit longer. But now it's been cut down even more. It's now less than 2 hours. Look at that. So we have the final runtime for Fantastic Four First Steps. I mean, we're talking about we're a week and a couple of days ahead. It is now 1 hour and 55 minutes. It's not the only thing. It's not the only thing I'm going to fast forward ahead when it comes to the tweets right here. It's not the only thing that was happening when it comes to this movie. And it's so funny, too, because, man, was the criticism, like, going crazy in my mentions and with people when it came to Superman and everything, like, when it came to runtimes, not having an actual runtime, you know, close to the release date and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, look at Fantastic Four. Even worse, even way worse. But there's also something else that happened, too, because who did we see in those trailers? That first trailer. What significant actor, what iconic actor that we all know? John Malkovich. I know, that wasn't the best impression. I try, guys, when it comes to my impressions. But we saw him and we were like, okay, wait, who is he? Who is he? Well, we're not going to really find out unless there's a director's cut. Exclusive, John Malkovich has been cut from Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps. The Oscar nominee played the villain Red Ghost. Well, okay. I don't know why I said that. We're never going to find out. Obviously, they revealed it right here. My bad. In a sequence at the start of the film, the film's director, Matt Stackman, says, there was a lot of stuff to balance in this movie, and some things had to go. He says, John is one of my favorite humans and one of my biggest inspirations. It was heartbreaking not to include him. Kevin Feige said, fuck Malkovich. Just kidding. He didn't say that. But, I guess it didn't work with everything that's going on. But this worries me, guys. This worries me about Fantastic Four. I've been worried about Fantastic Four. Yes, it's looking pretty good. I'm still going to go see it. Still have my tickets. Still going to very much partake and everything. But I'm a little worried. Tiny bit worried about it. Because Marvel Studios, man, things have been good. And I think part of the reason is probably why, I actually had some dumbass who quote tweeted my tweet who basically said like, oh yeah, there should be a lawsuit. I'm like, that's not how it works. Lawsuits, you can't do that. When you sign on for a movie, there's not a guarantee, especially if you have a small role in a movie and you sign on for it, there's not a guarantee that you're actually going to be in the movie. And yes, you could be shown in the trailers and still be cut out. Things could still be rearranged. Part of the contract. But, stupid people are stupid people, and they don't realize that kind of stuff. But, yeah. So, no John Malkovich. That's right. No John. I got to stop. I got to stop doing my John Malkovich impression right there. So, apologize. But, hey, sometimes you just do it. All right, what else we got here? Oh, we got a Batman Year One costume. A Batman Year One poster that is pretty damn awesome. It's from Patrick Conan. But it's pretty sweet. Look at this poster right here. Oh, Gotham City from here. It looks like an achievement. From here, you can't see the enemy. And it's kind of cool. You got them on the this little balance scales thing. You got the Wayne Enterprises logo right there. You got Batman on one side. You got Commissioner Gordon on the other. Such a beautiful freaking poster. Goddamn. You guys know I'm such a sucker for like these fan-made posters and all this kind of stuff. Just absolute sucker. And then sticking to Batman. I need this right here. I'm gonna mute the music because I don't know copyright. But somebody tagged me on this, and I'm like, oh, I need this right here for sure. Look at this. So we got this, like, a table. But I'm like, I would never want to, like, eat. I would just want this hung up somewhere. I mean, it looks like it's a table, but maybe not. I don't know. But this woman right here, good golly. Good job. Look at that. Maybe it's not a table. Maybe it's a window. It's a pane glass window, maybe? I don't know. But that is absolutely beautiful right there. Sign me up. I'm sure that thing costs a lot of money, though. That's the only thing. What did I just do? Don't you hate it when you accidentally bump one of the other buttons? Like, what the hell? The Legend of Zelda. That's coming out. Can't remember the director, but it's the guy who did the recent Apes movie, The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He's the one that's going to be helming this one, and everybody's been clamoring for a Legend of Zelda movie. My brother's a big Zelda fan. I used to watch him play Zelda on Nintendo and, well, not really Super Nintendo, but Nintendo I used to watch. It was like one of our things. Me and my brother filmed Junkee when I was younger. I didn't like playing the RPG kind of games, but I would watch him play because it was interesting and it was kind of like a movie. I didn't like playing them. I like playing sports games, racing games, fighting games, and, competition games more. I mean, I did get into the RPG stuff somewhat, but I don't know. When it came to Zelda and stuff, I just kind of watched him. But obviously we have, and I remember you should actually watch the cartoon. Excuse me, princess. If you guys remember that old cartoon, Jesus Christ, dating myself. But yes, we officially have our Zelda and our Link, and it's nobody you know. Bo Bragason will play Princess Zelda, and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth will play Link in The Legend of Zelda. So there she is. Don't know who she is. Okay? Well, I think she looks like Zelda. And then there's Link, who looks very young. But Link is very young. Obviously, he's going to have some pointy little ears and stuff like that. So is she. But yeah. So there's your Zelda, Princess Zelda and Link right there. You know, kudos to them. Hey, they won. I know there was like, what were they? They were Hunter Schafer or whatever the hell. Everybody was trying to be like, oh yeah, it's happening. And there was like a rumor out there that she was going to. I'm like, well, first off, obviously there's the whole thing that she's trans, and of course people freaking out about that. Even though, you know, if you didn't know she was trans and you looked at her, if you looked at Hunter, you'd be like, well, that's a woman right there. Yeah, unless you actually knew. I always hate that because, you know, yeah, obviously there's some, you know, there's a gray area. There's like some weirdness when it comes to all that stuff. But when you look at her shape, I'm going, that's, well, oh yeah, I forget. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a, you know, I'm just saying, you know. Anyways, there was like a rumor that she was gonna, and I was like, no, they would have to go younger. I think they're gonna go young. And this girl right here who's playing Zelda, she looks rather younger, and I was like, yeah, they're going younger when it comes to that, trying to be as legit as possible. So we'll see what happens with that. So there you go. There's your Link and Princess Zelda, and oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy, we finally got our Stranger Things teaser, and my God. There's a lot happening in here, and you know, hopefully they could just wrap up this story in a nice little bow for everybody. I mean, I'm gonna be watching, obviously, but man, this trailer showing the end. This is just like the end part showing the Vecna.
I found you.
Ooh. So yeah, the whole trailer was online, and I just, you know, posted that little a little clip right there. But Volume 1, November 26th, so Thanksgiving. Basically, hey, after you get done eating that turkey, you know, I think that's Thanksgiving, probably. Volume 2, Christmas, which is funny, Christmas Day. All right, and then Volume 3, New Year's Eve. It's all very interesting when it comes to that, so. I don't know. It's just funny because I'm just going, man, these kids were so young. They were so young. And now they're in their 20s while this is happening, while this is coming out. Just pretty funny. It's just funny. It's just absolutely funny. So, and what else we got? Oh, okay, we'll talk about this a little bit. Well, I got a couple. I saw the other thing, and we're actually going to be talking about it when it comes to this. But let's talk about this because, hey, you know what? Superman's not just like a movie. You know, it's a movie that's out there, and it's, yeah, people are seeing it. Yeah, maybe it's not having the rush to the theater as maybe that some would want, but at the same time, it's doing things. This movie is actually doing things. It is captured. There is something interesting that's happening when it comes to Superman. And one of the biggest things that, you know, obviously when we have Crypto, the dog, based off Azu, who is James Gunn's dog, who is a rescue, who's a big pain in the ass and everything like that. He's talked about that. That's why he based it off of him and everything. But what's very interesting about this is the fact that people, after seeing the trailers and even going to the movies and watching it and falling in love with Crypto, because let's face it, Crypto is a scene stealer. And after watching all that, people were searching for adopt a dog near me. It increased, the searches on Google increased by 513%. That's amazing and great. Yes, that's awesome. You got to get a dog, get a rescue. But it, you know, it could be risky because you just never know how that dog will be. You know, I've heard some, you know, I've had a friend who had a really bad story, like when it came to a rescue they got, but it's not always like that. But it's nice that, you know, people were actually looking for that. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, dog rescue. So Superman also helping getting dogs into homes. It's great. It's fantastic. Come on. You can't hate that. No matter how much you hate James Gunn and Superman, in this new Superman, you can't hate that, right? You can be okay with that. The press. Oh, the press. Press junkets. You know, nowadays you got these people who are interviewing these actors, and they, you know, they want to be unique. They want to stand out. They want to, you know, be something different. And well, we got Vanessa Kirby right here getting asked a question, and you can actually see the look on her face already. Of, oh God, And this is kind of an interesting question that she got asked when it came to her character, of course, Sue Storm in The Invisible Woman in Fantastic Four. Listen to this.
But jumping right into you, Vanessa, you've kind of become a social media icon for your force-filled, snatched, cunty fierceness phase.
Cunty.
Oh, God. How did you come about to go into that?
Pedro Pascal's like,
it's a good thing.
yeah,
It's a good
Pedro
thing.
Pascal has a
Really.
boner right now.
What's that from sunglasses, maybe?
Cunty face just means fierce,
Does it mean like...
fabulous,
Does it?
beautiful, strong.
Strong,
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
independent.
Promise.
But jump.
She was like, oh my God. Yeah. The C word. With the Y at the end. So that makes it better, right? But yeah, they do that. They start asking that. And then Pedro Pascal, man, dude just got a boner when all that was happening. Dude was like, yeah, you're talking about it. That's great. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, hey. But that clip's going viral, so I guess good on this woman right here who's wearing a shirt that says God's favorite. All right. Asking about that. Oh, man, I tell you what. And you know what you guys have to watch, too? You guys have to watch. If you guys know the podcast called Take Your Shoes Off, Rick Glassman, who's a comedian, he has one of the most unique podcasts, I would say. Really funny dude, and he takes pride in his podcast and does very unique things with it. And I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that David Corenswet was actually a guest this week on his podcast. I went, oh, that's going to be great. Wow, David Corenswet's actually going to be on that? Because it's not your normal podcast. You know, Rick Glassman, he does like crazy little animations. He's a guy who likes to do a lot of bits and everything. And his bit at the beginning of this was the fact that he was getting a massage while he had David Corenswet. And I recommend watching the whole thing. And this is actually a pretty funny, because he had the masseuse. The masseuse actually asked, and this is David Corenswet sitting there because they already had a bit where he's wearing a Darth Vader costume. So that's why he's wearing this. But it's a pretty funny little portion of here. Because a lot of us were kind of going, even I said, well, he's going to have a shirtless scene, right? Obviously, you know, every superhero movie, the guy has everybody has their, let's reveal the muscles that we made for this role.
Not excited for the Superman part of it.
Are you shirtless?
Oh.
I'm not allowed to tell you that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I have the inside scoop. And not only is it shirtless, you see his full cock and balls, and they are awesome. Too bad I said it.
You can't say that.
Yes! That's Rick Glassman right there. That's so fucking... Oh, man. That's funny. When I was watching that yesterday, I rewound that and laughed my ass off. The fact he just comes in, you see his full cock and balls. And that's just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. There's some more bits in there, too, that were really great. Especially the one when he actually, has the Darth Vader costume on. But, yeah, I highly recommend just type in Rick Glassman, David Corenswet. You'll find that podcast. Really good podcast because you get to know David Corenswet, not press junket David Corenswet. And he even talks about how it was nerve-wracking doing this because it was the first time he was doing this. Obviously, it was everything and being on Kimmel, a late-night show for the first time, all this stuff. He talks about Nicholas Hoult being a pro. And, he talks, he gets a little vulnerable. And you hear him, dropping F-bombs and everything. And he talks about his appreciation for comedy, the craft of comedy. I highly recommend watching this podcast. If you are now a David Corenswet fan, watch it. You're going to see a different side of David Corenswet. You're definitely going to see a different side of David Corenswet, which is great. Hey, I got a new Kenneth. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. All right. Let's get into it, all right? All right. Well, first off, let's talk about a couple of things because there's more interviews that are coming out and different kind of things and everything. And, I'm just kind of like trying to still, there's so many, the thing that sucks about press junkets and all the different interviews is just like, oh yeah, James Gunn said something over here. David Corenswet said something here. There's all these different things and you're just like, Jesus, fuck. You're trying to find everything. Well, I'm going to start off with this right here when it comes to James Gunn talking about a certain aspect of Superman and of this Superman where I was going, there's no way that they're doing the traditional costume underneath the suit, especially this costume. There's no way. And sure enough, Jimmy Guns confirms that David Corenswet, Superman, does not wear the suit under his clothes. He's fast. He keeps it in his briefcase. There you go. Thank you. Because, like, yeah, you got the collar. Not to mention the fucking costume's thick. It's thick. It's fucking thick. There's no way he's going to be wearing that. He has his suit would have to be really baggy when it comes to that. Definitely baggy. I mean, my God. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So, all right. And then, of course, there's been some like back and forth when it comes to the box office as well. There's been some back and forth. There were some people that were reporting that the international numbers had a huge spike, and now like it's well over 300 and something $million, and it was like, whoa. It turns out like I think like this website really just effed up the numbers. The numbers are all kind of like wonky right now. I don't care about the numbers until next Sunday, to be honest. I'm like, yeah, day to day it's actually doing good. It's actually moving past Jurassic World. It's actually been breaking some records too for like Monday and Tuesday showings. There's been some really good stuff like that. So I think there's like been some good word of mouth. And then of course they're talking about, yeah, it might see like a 50 to 55% drop, which, you know, that's kind of normal right there. I don't know if it's going to dip in the 60s. It would actually be crazy if it was under 50%. That would be absolutely crazy. But yeah, there's some interesting things when it comes to that. And yeah, we'll talk about all this kind of the stuff and everything. So let's see what else. What do we got? Okay, now let's just jump into the article. Let's just jump to this Variety article. And we got David Corenswet right here behind the scenes. He's wearing like a little cap, harness. Is that Zack Snyder? Just kidding. Yeah, so he's just on set right there, just kind of waiting with his little cape on. That's pretty funny. So we had that get released. This is actually pretty funny that James Gunn posted. When they were doing like the Cine Europe, whatever, when they were showing footage for like the first half hour of Superman, so they're doing like an introduction. I mean, I'm sure they got the whole message, but you know, I mean, kudos. Again, kudos to the marketing. The marketing's been fucking stellar when it comes to Superman. It really has. Because kudos for these behind the scenes and these bloopers. So we have James Gunn and Peter Safran right here having fun with this.
I'm grateful to be sitting. We're sitting all day.
Hey everybody at Cine Europe.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support of Superman.
Dude's
we
got some
truly
eyebrows.
appreciate the spirit of creativity. I'm sorry. It's like you're like nodding along.
What do you want me to do?
You're getting bored. We truly appreciate the spirit of innovation.
I'm just sitting here.
Sit still.
Can I have another paragraph or something? I can do it. I cannot laugh.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster. I feel like we've given them enough.
It is a film I've wanted to make my whole life, and James has delivered beyond my wildest dreams. It is the perfect vanguard for the bold,
and this is so good
new
right here.
era of DC cinema that we are launching in partnership with you this summer. I was doing so well.
We hope you enjoy this exclusive look at Superman.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody,
and have a great
Cinema Europe.
I think we can make it all work.
I mean, it's pretty much a oneer.
So they were having fun. I mean, that's fun right there. I like that. I like that a lot. And DC Studios also has 28 Emmy nominations, 24 nominations for the Penguin. That's right. And then 4 nominations for Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, which I have not watched. I should have watched it this past weekend. I need to watch it this weekend. I was too busy watching Superman 2 and Superman Quest for Peace for some fucking reason. Whatever. It's fine. All right. So, yeah, nominations and everything. Lanterns has officially wrapped. So we have that as well. Let's see. We'll talk Supergirl in a little bit here. All right, let's dive into this article. Let's dive into this article right here that we're seeing, and from Variety right here. So let's kind of dive into this Variety article. It's kind of talking about, you know, is it a success? Of course, I'm not really liking who wrote this, but hey, what can you do, I guess? So let's just kind of go through some of the bullet points right here. Ahead of the world premiere of James Gunn Superman, obviously we're talking about that. And then talk about a lot of things. But did Gunn, 220 Yeah, accompanied by the sigh of relief of Gunn's movie lifted off at $220 million worldwide, ushering, of course, all that. Zaslav took victory lap, obviously talking about that. So they're all, just talking about what we already talked about on Monday's show, for sure. And one top agent says he can understand a little crowing from Zaslav, considering the press treated him like a village idiot punching bag for so long, you can't blame the guy for grabbing on to any piece of good news. So they're still considering it good news. Typically, a film's stars earn the top salaries. In this case, Gunn was by far the highest earner. Obviously, he was going to be the highest earner, pulling down 20 times more than David Corenswet. Yes, and Rachel Brosnahan. They both earned $750,000 each. Gunn got $15 million. Hey, I mean, it makes sense. That's a lot. But the dude got a paycheck. He wrote, directed, and was, shepherding, doing all this and setting up the new universe. That's quite a bit. Rachel Brosnahan and David Corenswet, equality. They got the same. They got the same pay. Nicholas Hoult, though, he got $2 million. Why? Because Nicholas Holt's more of a name, and his agent is better. Nicholas Hoult is already a well-established name. That's why. That is exactly why. So that makes sense. Warner Brothers, let's see. Oh, and then, of course, they talked about this right here. So this is interesting, obviously, when it comes to this whole aspect of everything. Said, although Warner Brothers has sequel options on Corenswet and Brosnahan, a sequel announcement does not appear to be imminent. Instead, sources say the studio is fast-tracking a Wonder Woman movie. And the studio is thrilled with Matt Reeves' just submitted screenplay draft of the sequel of The Batman. Of course, Warner Brothers declined comment. They are fast-tracking. You know why? Because they know, okay, Superman, that wasn't a spectacular opening. It was a good opening, but not spectacular. They were hoping for spectacular, and they're going, yeah, we need the other players. So I guarantee you, and even James Gunn has said, too, that once the Batman Brave and Bold script is complete, they're going to jump right into it. I think we're going to get Wonder Woman and Batman. We're going to get those movies, or they're going to be showing up in a sequel. I don't know what's going to be happening, but you better believe that Corenswet's Superman is probably going to be interacting with a Wonder Woman and a Batman probably at the same time. I think we're just getting them put in there pretty quickly. I just have this feeling because they're like, all right, we set the base, decent opening, people are charged, look at the analytics of social media. Now the universe is established. We know that they're out there. We know that other heroes are out there. So let's just fucking focus on that. Let's focus on that. We don't need to have, let's have the story. We didn't, technically it was it was a Superman story, very centered on Superman, but at the same time, other characters. So that's good. Still, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which marked the last DC reset, performed better when adjusted to inflation, of course. So, yeah, I already kind of went over that. Of course, the numbers are all over the place, but yeah, it did do better. Ultimately, Superman largely avoided stepping into the culture wars until too late. And then, of course, they talk about Gunn's brother, who talked about, And, they talked about that. We've talked about that, too. And it's just like, good Lord. And they even say, was this, pro-Palestinian activists and all this kind of stuff with all the divide when it came to Bravia and then, of course, wanting to divide a nation and doing all that, which is part of it. It's just kind of whatever. Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, who has a massive following, called the film 2 hours and 10 minutes of fuck Israel the entire time. A sentiment echoed, so a lot of people are like, but I'm like, they weren't even trying to really even do that either. I mean, these people are definitely trying to get this to sound very much like it was, pro this or pro that and trying to make it so political, and it really wasn't. So the perception was ultimately help keep Superman in the conversation long after opening weekend, says Bach. The saving grace for the new DCU might be if the film can go 12 rounds and stay in theaters throughout August. That is very interesting right there. Can it stand the test of time? Can it stand all the way till that time and make it decent and have some legs? That's what we're going to be looking at for the next few weeks. We're going to be looking at those legs, those soupy legs when it comes to all this. So it's but with all the other noise, there's so much noise. Obviously, there's always so much noise. Always so much noise, but what can you do? What can you do? All right, what else do we have? Yeah, let's talk Supergirl, huh? Oh, this is kind of funny right here. Nexus Point News. They, Eddie, if you guys, know that Eddie Gathegi, Mr. Terrific. I mean, the dude, he's been around franchises. I forgot that he was actually a fucking vampire in the goddamn Twilight Saga. Yeah, I remember him in First Class because he died a terrible, weird death. But, everybody always made fun of, because of how his power was. But Eddie is popular, man. He's popular. He's very much popular. Oh, man. So going to a different... So hearing James Gunn basically quote from a different source and everything here when it comes to Batman and Wonder Woman, I'm telling you right here, he is all like they are just going, okay, Superman, yeah, I think they kind of knew this, and we've talked about this on the Vodka stream numerous times, had numerous conversations. Yeah, Superman, people love Superman, people go to see Superman, but they flock to Batman, man. They flock to Batman. And then, of course, if you start adding more, and Wonder Woman has increased her popularity in the past few years, especially with the Wonder Woman movie. Maybe not 84 so much, but I'm just saying. So we have this quote right here when it comes to James Gunn talking about them both. It's not going to be until the script is ready. Both scripts are being written now, and if they're good, we'll go into production immediately. Basically what I was saying before. So they're just okay. So it sounds like the Wonder Woman movie, we're going to see Wonder Woman before we even see Paradise Lost. Seems like maybe that's, they're fleshing that out. They're making sure that they have that. That's going to be a series. But an actual Wonder Woman movie, it's all pretty crazy. So I keep on saying that the next movie that we might see Superman in is a Trinity movie. I don't know. I'm still trying to, I'm holding on to that it could be a Trinity movie. But then, of course, you have, it could be a Supergirl and Superman movie, yeah. But then I'm kind of going maybe that'll be the next one. I don't know. But I'm just kind of going I don't know. A Trinity movie would be pretty damn awesome. We'll see what happens. But speaking of Supergirl, well, first off, we got Milly Alcock, who was, it was pretty funny that she posted this right here. Somebody posted an image and then she posted it in her stories when it came to Instagram where, obviously she shows up at the end of Superman. Spoiler alert, we already knew that. And this is pretty funny right here. Supergirl while Metropolis is almost destroyed. And here's Milly Alcock with a cigarette in her mouth looking at her phone. It's that's funny. That's funny. That's a good meme. So she posted that. But naturally, we have Supergirl coming out next year, and it's going to be, obviously, the next big DCU movie. So why not do a teaser poster now that Superman is out? And this is actually pretty perfect because it's basically harking on the Superman slogan of look up. Next year, we have to look out. Beautiful. I love this poster. I do. Because it's making fun of it. And then there she is with her Supergirl costume, still covered in that jacket that, of course, we see in Woman of Tomorrow, sipping some kind of 7-Eleven drink. I don't know if it's a slushie or whatever the hell it is. Could be something from Starbucks as well. I don't know. But I think that her costume looks great. Everything looks great when it comes to the costume. But, of course, you have the spray paint that shows look out. And then, of course, you can see the red spray paint on her hands right there. That's good. Setting it up already, keeping the excitement going. People are loving it. And then Milly Alcock having fun as well. Just, having fun. So, let's see. Is there any more DCU news? I think that was pretty much it when it came to things. Yeah. That's pretty much it, obviously talking about things. Oh, we have another black and white behind the scenes right here. That looks pretty cool. I think we've already seen that before, though. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to everything. So now we go to Zack Snyder because we have some Zack Snyder updates. What? What? Yeah, we do. We have some Zack Snyder updates right here. And especially when it comes to Rebel Moon, which we're all kind of wondering, did Netflix like Rebel Moon response? You know, it is kind of iffy, but here we go right here. Rebel Moon video game launches from Netflix as Zack Snyder talks future of the film franchise, Fortnite obsession, and James Gunn's Superman. What? Netflix launched its next big project meant to capitalize on the homegrown IP Tuesday with the release of Bloodline, a video game based on Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. In Snyder's Rebel Moon universe, Bloodline is an online co-op action game developed by Studio Super Evil Megacorp, which have done those, and lets players take on the role of a rebel, picking between a variety of classes to join a covert rebellion that's fighting to take back their planet from a tyrannical mother world. The game is available exclusively for Netflix subscribers, of course, on the app. I'm a giant Fortnite fan. I play tons of Fortnite, so for me, I really don't have a huge experience with campaigning, obviously campaign-style games, Snyder said. That's cool, and it's not really my gaming experience, so it's fun to kind of get in the headspace. And they really, honestly, they're just super smart about that stuff. And I was really amazed at the level of detail. And when I say the level of detail, of course, everything is detailed, but the sort of narrative detail where they really kind of giving you these exciting boss fights that make you better because they kind of teach you how to play. And that's pretty cool. Of course, it's tied to all that. Keep going. So many ads. So, now the future of the franchise. Outside of Bloodline, will Rebel Moon continue as a film franchise? Snyder doesn't know just yet, as he's focused on completing his untitled LAPD SWAT action movie for Netflix. I got sidetracked into this, not sidetracked. It's all uptown problems, as they say. For Netflix, I'm working on an LAPD SWAT movie. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just sort of let the Rebel Moon world boil for a minute, and I'm going to do this. And frankly, it was very exhausting. Long process doing the two movies together. So it was nice to have a bit of a break from it. I love it like crazy, but it's nice to have a bit of a break. So yeah, we'll see after I finish this, when I come back, where we are with everything. As of another additional scripts, of course, written by, there's tons of stories. So, I think it's endless. But again, like I say, I'm waiting to see how we want to and in what way we want to move forward. So basically just kind of like talking about that and all that stuff. This weekend, I don't think I'm seeing it. Okay. So, of course, naturally, they're going to be asking Zack Snyder about Rebel Moon. Did I say Rebel Moon? Of course they did. No, Naturally, they're going to be asking Zack about, hey, Superman, when are you going to see James Gunn Superman? Hey, Superman. You made a Superman movie. You made a couple Superman. Of course, they're going to be doing that. And Zack right here had to say, this weekend, I don't think I'm seeing it because I have a horse show. My kids ride horses, but I'm going to try to see it right after that. So there you go. That's it. That's the only quote. The only quote right there is like, oh, okay, yeah. Of course, they have to ask him that. Of course, he has to say that. We're never going to get his reaction to it unless somebody asks him during another interview, and then he'll give a positive reaction, but we're never going to get like a full, he's not going to post it on Vero, he's not going to post it on Twitter, he's not going to do any of that. That would be crazy if he did, and that would definitely fucking, make the fandom wars go absolutely batshit if he actually did that. And I'm sure like James Gunn's like, dude, just say something about it. Say something about it. Come on. But yeah, it's just like, he's going to see it because he loves movies and he wants to probably see like, let me see what James Gunn does. Because he's a colleague, he's a friend, and everything like that. So there's your little Zack Snyder update right there when it comes to Rebel Moon. God knows if that's actually going to happen because of the reception, but we shall see. All right, the box office this weekend. The box, is that wine already kicking in? Maybe. I don't know. Might be. So we got the box office this weekend, and essentially we have two movies that are coming out that it's just not going to be a big box office. It's not going to be a big box office. And like I said, Superman's going to be victorious again, for sure. But, there is a couple things. Hey, we're going to first start off with a movie that people in my mentions, I've seen people in my mentions that they'll do anything to try to diminish anything Superman because they don't like James Gunn, and they have that James Gunn derangement syndrome. I've seen people say, like, oh yeah, Smurfs can do well. It's family friendly. Fuck off. No one cares about the Smurfs. This movie's not going to do well. And of course, critics, there's 36 right now reviews, but it's 22%. Nobody cares. Who cares about fucking Smurfs? I don't know. Even by the simplest of standards for animated films, Smurfs is a subpar mess of idiotic dialogue, banality, and unimaginative plot developments that copy superhero movies. Most of the supporting characters have no real purpose but to take up space. Smurfs has good moments, but does altogether too much to do anything particularly well, with a small number of notable exceptions. Smurfs does the blue cartoon mascots and their fans no favors. Smurfs is what you get when you order Trolls from Temu. Hey, one positive review. There is plenty to satisfy the long-time fans, including the usual cuddly themes and replacement of various words with Smurf. Oh, God. I used to watch Smurfs when I was a kid. I don't care to watch this movie. I didn't watch the last movie. But of course we have I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot happening, and that's at a 47% right now with 53 reviews. Consensus, faithfully hearkening back to the original, for better or worse. This I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot serves up plenty of nostalgia without finding a compelling hook of its own. I see what you did there. Hook? Come on. All right, let's start off with some positive reviews. It won't redefine the slasher genre or become a classic overnight, but it offers a fresh take with enough twists and character moments to engage fans of horror and newcomers alike. Freddie Prinze Jr. is getting killed right in the first scene, isn't he? Sorry, no, he's probably not. Sexy, slick, and just flat out awesome, bringing the charm from the 1997. Wow. Original, but developing it into a highly entertaining, perfect legacy sequel that actually builds its own path while bringing a satisfying return for its roots. There are some plot holes, and the murder mystery is easy to solve when the body count increases. Most horror fans will find something to like about this reboot sequel, but it's not enough to save a movie full of recycled ideas and unanswered questions. My ideal summer slasher, so much fun with a deep love for the films that came before. Take notes, other franchise. This is how you do a legacy sequel. Oh, is that other franchise the fucking Scream one? A melting pot of one bad or underutilized idea after another. The trite fan service heavy legacy sequel also has the audacity to have one of its characters vehemently express that nostalgia is overrated despite relying on it. Yeah, these movies will do whatever, but they're not going to do anything absolutely spectacular. That's basically what we're getting at here, is the fact that it's just not gonna do anything too fucking crazy. But people will go see it. I'm gonna go see it. I'm keeping my streak alive, guys. I'm keeping my streak alive when it comes to seeing movies every week. So let's talk about Mortal Kombat. What? Yeah, that's right. We got Mortal Kombat. And not only do we have, we have a poster, but they are very much leaning into this marketing of Johnny Cage. And they released this poster right here, which very much looks like the first Mission Impossible poster of Uncaged Fury. That's right. There he is, Carl Urban. It looks ridiculous. Of course it's supposed to look ridiculous, but that's what they released yesterday when it came to Johnny Cage. Not the only thing, too. They also have an IMDb page. What? There's an IMDb page for Johnny Cage. actor, martial artist, incredibly handsome. Yeah, they're leaning into this marketing right here. Even got some like sunglasses. Finally, sunglasses for men, sweat-proof, shatterproof, cry-resistant. All right, marketing is stellar, pretty damn stellar when it comes to this. That's pretty good. And we're supposed to be getting a full trailer tomorrow when it comes to Mortal Kombat 2. We're going to get the full trailer, but they decided today we're going to release like a teaser trailer for Johnny Cage's new movie. That's right, guys. They are 100% leaning into the cheese.
From New Line Cinema,
Yes,
the studio
that voice.
Cool Hand Cage, hard to cage, and rebel without a cage, comes Uncaged Fury. Starring Johnny Cage.
It's showtime.
They pissed him off. They fucked with his shades. They should have brought more guys.
You should have brought more guys.
Uncaged Fury. Coming to a theater near you this October.
The voice is perfect. You can't not love that, right? You can't. It's very Kung Fury esque. It's so funny because you try to bring back that 80s vibe, but it's supposed to be modern day. It's like, yeah, but I mean, I guess, everybody loves that nostalgia shit. But I mean, I'm like, that works. That works. I just wonder what the whole movie's going to be because obviously that's just one aspect of it, right? But are they going to lean very hard into the Johnny Cage storyline? I mean, I kind of would hope that they would. And that Cole character that they just injected into the first movie, who's not an actual character from the Mortal Kombat lore. Yeah, I would rather watch this and have Johnny Cage be the centralized character of the sequel. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, I think a lot of us would rather have that, but there you go. So looking forward to that trailer. Maybe I'll probably do like a little quick reaction to it or something since won't be doing any Film Junkee lives. Of course, we'll be talking about it on the Vodka stream on Friday. Obviously, I didn't post things. I'm still trying to work out this Film Junkee Not So Live because it is 5:55. Definitely not going to be up. It's probably going to be up at like 6:30, because like I said, I mean, everything's good where I'm just going to upload in one big chunk. We'll see what happens. But I had to figure out like, oh yeah, I got to shoot this a lot earlier. And I kind of lollygagged a little bit, and I shouldn't have. So it's going to be a little late, but I'm still going to do a members-only stream after this. So yes, guys, this has been fun, even though, and like I said, I'll be in the chat. So hit that like, thumbs up, do all the things. And let me know your thoughts about everything. And I'll see you members in a little bit. And love you guys. And thank you guys for being here and spending some time with me. And I look forward to my I Know What You Did Last Summer first reaction sometime tomorrow. We'll see. I haven't bought my tickets. But see you tomorrow. And then, of course, Vodka stream on Friday, which, of course, we'll talk about everything that happened this week. All right, guys. Love ya. And I'll talk to you later.